Getting some energy for the water sign. See what messages I have for them. I'm gonna pull a few cards from this deck, and then I'm gonna pull 4 cards from each oracle deck. They all have their own title. Giving messages for your core projection, like cool and hot attitudes or energy. The first card is the Ace of Wands. It's like a fire burning inside. You're being full of passion. You're like pushing and moving forward into better new situations. You can see like the city. You could be moving. Next is the Page of Cups. Someone or something unexpected is about to come your way or is on the way. Maybe you're getting a visit for somebody you don't know or you haven't seen in a while. You're getting a new wave of like ideals, inspirations. You're going to be overwhelmed with a bunch of feelings that you're like unaware of why they've come to you all of a sudden. Four Cups, like you're disappointed. You could be over a situation because I'm sure it says over it. Like, I'm just done with the whole situation. Like, it's maybe you've been disappointed about something. You've been real cynical. Maybe you've been being negative. Or maybe you just need to change your outlook about a situation. Maybe you have a disagreement with somebody. Maybe you have differences, which is normal because people have different opinions about things. So it's just saying change your outlook on that issue. And this is the Ten of Wands. You're holding a burden. Like, see how she's like, you're basically like so much stuff that you're holding in or dealing with. You can't even see what's in front of you, or basically the answers are right in front of you. It's like those buildings is in front of her. She can't see where she's walking. So it's like stop being, I guess, stop being like a stumbling block for yourself. Just stop being like blocking yourself. You're blocking your own blessings. Just drop all that extra baggage you're holding and you'll get the right answers because they're right in front of you. And the last card is the Page of Pentacles. After the storm, which is the storm is everything that you've dealt with before this, basically the situation that you're over, is you'll be more focused on your goals, taking more concrete steps to bring success towards you. She's holding Pentacles, so you're getting more money or you're working towards receiving more money. I'm gonna pull a core card. Core cards are basically what's within, what you're thinking within, because it's the core, the inside. This is accumulation. I'm going to get the meaning out of this book. Each card going to have a picture and it's like a description. So this is, if you can see, there's bees. The bees represents productivity, sacrifice, teamwork, focus, and order. Their entire existence is dedicated to accumulation for the sake of their community. And the bowl of fruit symbolizes the abundance of such efforts. See the bowl of fruit and the bees are flying at top. The quote for this card is, all consumed, few thoroughly digest. So, okay, they give like a scenario. So, it is rare to meet a person who is absolutely content with what they have, because people often feel that they could do more if they had more. this would be positive if they fully utilize what they had already accumulated and desired more to avoid the stagnation and boredom that inevitably led to decay. In this scenario, the desire is healthy for a person's growth and development. However, if we want more without first using what we already possess, it leads to a waste of greed. None need be reminded of the suffering caused by the inability to stop consuming more long after satisfaction has been achieved. So when you get this card, you have to consider, will more really make things better? Are you feigning contentment because you are too afraid to ask for or seek more? Is your plan to get more morally ethically sound? Do you fully appreciate and use what you've already have? Are you upset or angry that someone else is asking you to contribute or give more even if their request makes sense? Are you okay but just being greedy? Do you know exactly what it will take for you to feel fulfilled? So it's basically what I read. It's basically just telling you, just be mindful what you're asking for. Don't take on too much. Don't be greedy. Whenever you're creating whatever business or ideas that you have, don't take on more than what you can handle. I'm going to pull a projection card. A projection is like outer, what you're showing outside of yourself. Or what are you projecting to other people? Just going to see what it says and go from there. They usually always link or the meanings. Purpose. Purpose is on this card is a navel stone, is symbol of the great goddess and can be found throughout the world. Some scholars suggest that these stones were deliberately placed at oracle centers according to geological principles. Likewise, people of the ancient world constructed the majority of the temples and other sacred places with great purpose according to sacred geometrical or astronomical considerations to benefit themselves and the generations to come. They represent the critical importance of remaining focused on essential themes in our lives and the source of our energy. The quote for this card is, "Reason determines the weight of every harvest." We may often hear people say everything happens for a reason. While this is certainly true, it is also true that this is often used to divert attention from the purpose or from why a choice was made that led to what happens to be a fateful occurrence. There is nothing in the universe that does not have a purpose, and as expressions of that law, we must also have a reason for why we think or act in a particular way. It does not matter if we are conscious or unconscious of the reason. Sometimes something occurs in outer space or inner space. We know that everything is based on laws and therefore following orders dictated by those laws. When we read an obituary, we see plainly that in the end, all of our lives are defined by a series of choices. There is no reason for wondering why the deceased chose one path or another, because in terms of legacy, it does not matter. So the meaning of this card is there is a possibility that you may be making an essential or incorrectly ascribing a good purpose for a belief, decision, or action. This card may also be warning you to beware of how the attachment of purpose or necessity to a belief, decision, or act you may be considering will positively or negatively affect your self-esteem in the short term and your overall legacy in the long term. You may also need to reflect on whether you are treasuring your divine ability to define everything in or around you as one with the universe. I'm going to pull a blue core card. A blue cool card, I'm sorry. The cool card is basically, I have cool and hot, so basically they're like actions. This is desire. Like your actions for this, reactions for this situation, or just reactions, period. Okay, for desire, like each card has sometimes an animal, different. The chalice of wine represents the acceptance and the desire. The blue lotus represents the ability to achieve unimaginable states of pleasure. The quote for this card is, "Passion is the nectar of the flower of life." The meaning of this card is, dare to want it. If whatever you are currently doing will not help you attain it, then you must do something else. If there are people in your circle that are trying to discourage you from what you desire, then find a new circle. If that is not possible, then refuse to discuss your desires while you work to attain them. Meaning, keep your business to yourself. You don't have to discuss everything that goes on, because sometimes people find out what you're doing to block you, stop you, hate on what you're doing. It says, excuse me, your dreams are sacred. No one, nothing has the right to negate, defile, or molest them. Because people are trying to do that. This is a red high card. Disguise. That connects to disguise. Okay. The animal represents the Dahidi Ash, who was known as the Lord of Libya and was the god of the oasis, the guardian of the Sahara Desert, the protector of the vineyards of the Western Nile Delta and royal estates. Depicted here is an unknown beast. He could be considered frightening or dangerous. Things are not always what they seem. He appears malefic, but is benign. The quote for this card is, deception feeds and protects all life. Basically, the meaning of this card is, to survive this, you must enhance or further develop other qualities within yourself. All personality types exist within you, and they may be accessed when needed. Adaptation is not being fake. Sometimes it is the only way to survive. Maybe that person who they're telling you to not discuss your ideals with, calling you fake for not telling you, just trying to belittle you or make you give in to telling them because they wanted access with finding out what your ideal could be, or what your plans are in the long run. It's not good to always discuss everything with people. If nobody's not investing in you as far as a business wise, there's nothing to discuss with them, because not everybody is really like mean you well when it comes down to you being, I guess you could say, prosperous or being abundant. That's all the energy I have for the water signs. Yeah, water signs. Please like and share, subscribe to my channel, and you all have a great evening.